Teams message and turn it into a task in Microsoft To Do. Now, if you've not had the pleasure of using Microsoft To Do, that's a story for another day. But nonetheless, all you need to know is, even if you don't use Microsoft To Do, it does integrate with Outlook Tasks. So I'll show you in a sec how to get to Microsoft To Do if you don't know where to find it. But just let's look at how to turn a message into a task first. So what we do, again, we hover over the little message here. We come up to the dots on the right-hand side, and we go down to More Actions. And on that More Actions, which is where Adrian was earlier, we can create a task. So if I click Create Task here, it's going to open up. And this is where the magic happens. In just a second. Right. It takes a copy of the content in that chat and puts it in the task notes. It gives me a link back to the chat so I can find it. I can choose which of my task lists I want to add it to. And I can choose a priority and a due date if I want to. Now, the best tip I can give you when doing this, you really need to change the title of that task, because what it does is it grabs the start of the message. So this is a better message is not an actionable task, right? I need to change this to be what the task actually is. So that would be the important thing to do. So I could go in now and click Add Task. Now, if you don't know how to get to Microsoft To Do, multiple ways. Adrian might even put a direct link in the chat for me. But you can grab it as a Windows app, a Mac app, or if you're familiar with coming to office.com, and Adrian might even put a link to that in the chat as well. When you log in here to your Microsoft 365 portal homepage and come up to the little dot, you will find To Do on the list of apps here. Always, without fail, you can always do a search for Microsoft To Do.
And also, Sam, if you go to the left-hand side of your screen there, I reckon, if you go back to Teams, there you go.
Oh, yes,
you've got a thing called Tasks by Planner. Now, that's actually the same bloke with a different haircut. So I don't know why they've called it Tasks. It's actually To Do, so it still does the same thing. It just kind of sets it out slightly differently because it links into Planner. We haven't got time to jump into Planner today, but they're all kind of integrated there. So
yeah,
you can go see what's sitting there as well.
Yeah. That's a really good point, Adrian. You can also access it from here. So yeah. All right. Cool.
While we're there, Sam, so this is tip 1.7. Now, remember, I'm giving the tip here. So on the left-hand side on Sam's screen, you've got a whole lot of little applications she's added, okay? If you come down to those three dots, you can click on that and you can find all these other apps that you can pin to the left-hand side. So you might want to put in, I don't know, tasks or task by something. Grab something from there, Sam, that you haven't got. Grab Stream, drop Stream in there.
Some of the crew will be using Trello, for example. I know this is third party, but we could add a Trello app on the side.
Yep. So just click on that one. That'd be cool. I was going to ask you for permissions.
That's all right.
Yep. Now, that'll get added in your apps and it'll appear down the bottom there. Now, what you need to do first up is go right mouse click on it and pin it, because otherwise when you open up your Teams again, it disappears. Even though it's still there, it just doesn't appear on your list. So you can customize that list. And there's a couple of things coming in the roadmap that's going to make that left-hand rail even better than what it is now, but we can't tell you.
Can I just ask a question? I didn't know I could add Trello to my Microsoft Teams.
Correct.
So is my Trello board going to appear there now?
Correct.
Yeah, so exactly, you can sign in. So any of these apps here, right, you can find a whole heap of stuff, right? You can then sign into that app in here. So if you use Monday.com as another example, we use that as a team, you can sign in, you can get visibility here. And even if there is not an app here, I don't think this is on our list today, but you can also in any channel or chat, you can add any tool or any website as a tab across the top. So you've got two ways of doing it, Mish, but that is really good, just having it on the left there.
Yeah.